Startuprad.io, your podcast and YouTube blog covering the German startup scene with news, interviews, and live events.
Hello and welcome everyone to our regular startup news from the startup and tech entrepreneurship scenes in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We will stick to our system of breaking up the news into two pieces, so you will find two episodes in your podcatchers also this month. You're listening to the top news this month in German, Swiss, and Austrian startups for October 2025. Second piece of news will be released the upcoming Monday with a deep dive into the GSA startup scene. Our startup news today are recorded with me in Hanover, and as we say in German, the mule always mentions himself first, the donkey. And Joe is in Frankfurt though. Hey, how are you?
Hey guys.
Today's news cut has been October 27th. As always, all news not included will be in our next wrap up, which will be published November 27th. Yes, it's already going to be Thanksgiving. Probably our favorite American holiday. Who knows?
Are you going to eat one of those tofu turkeys again for Thanksgiving?
I had them. They're not great. And in general, as a vegetarian, I'm not the biggest fan of these like as if products. Give me great vegetables or some spices, but not like fake burger. Anyway, story for another day, because in Germany there also has been legislation that you can't call it veggie burger anymore. Anyway, we will be joining Deutsche Startups at their annual event Startupland on site November 5th in Cologne. Meet us there. Get a 25% discount with Startupland Friends 25. Startuplands, sorry. I knew I was going to mess it up. Startupland Friends 25. Since we published this piece on the day before Halloween, enjoy your trick or treat. Boo-hoo. Are you going to do trick or treating with your kids? Do you have a costume?
Yes, of course. I'm already deep in preparations, because first we do trick or treat, then we go home and we have some like little how do you call those like those little wooden spikes with little pumpkins on top or little ghosts on top, and we make little burgers and put them in and call it Halloween burgers. How does trick or treat work in your neighborhood in New York?
So in my neighborhood in New York, actually in my building, you can put your name on a list, and because the building has 34 floors, and you can put your name on a list, and then the kids, there's an official list for which apartments kids are allowed to knock on. And so they don't like knock on all the 700 apartments in the building. But I find it a bit weird anyway, because I mean, if you are a kid who wants to go trick or treating, do you want to do like one building 30 floors, or do you want you want to walk in the streets and see other people, I guess.
That would be my question. So basically the kids are just sticking to their own building.
Well, you can in my building, but I think it's stupid, because especially the Upper East Side, a lot of people put a lot of money into the decorations, and the buildings actually look really nice, and they have like giant spider webs outside and witches and all these like inflatable.
We actually have 3 inflatables in our front yard. One of them is a dragon, 2 meter and 70 tall. Another one is a little group of little pumpkins with a little ghost and a little cat, and the other one is a very friendly ghost getting out of a pumpkin. and handcuffed pumpkins on the stairs.
Well, good. Good for you. Well, I already missed Eurovision Halloween. There's always Eurovision Halloween in New York, but where people dress up as old Eurovision artists. Anyway, so I think we are ready to talk startups for this month. Shall we go for it?
Yes, totally. A quick break for our sponsor. Every founder should hear. One leak on the dark web can mean account takeovers, impersonations, or board-level crisis. That's why we partner with NordStella, a business-grade threat exposure platform from the team behind NordVPN. It gives you early signs early signals before attackers escalate with data breach and dark web monitoring, attack surface discovery, and cyber squatting detection. You'll spot exposed credentials, shadow IT, and fake domains fast. Startuprad.io listeners can get an exclusive 20% Black Friday discount. Go to nordstellar.com/startupradio and use the code BlackFriday20 before December 10th. Don't wait until your data shows up for sale. Visit nordstellar.com/startuprad.io, code BlackFriday20. Now back to the show. Chris, you want to give me some highlights?
Sure. Let's go.
The mood this month is cautious optimism with a caffeine kick. AI keeps vacuuming up capital, with the markets quietly rewards teams that can actually ship and sell. Funding volumes aren't 2021. Chris, remember those crazy days when we actually had an additional unicorn tracker because unicorn got almost every month we got a new unicorn. It was totally crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was simpler times, but also, I mean, the way I look at the market, I really wonder how much, I mean, those numbers have always had an element of fantasy to it, but my impression is it's getting worse and worse. And like those numbers are inflated. So yeah, the only real unicorns are you and me.
The winners are punching through, especially in AI, infra, biotech, climate tech. We'll track it without the froth. Just the numbers and the signals so you can sound smart in your next board call. A dry smile, a raised eyebrow, and we go on. Theme 1, the funding bar moves higher, and a few teams cleared it with room to spare. Berlin's workflow AI orchestration crowd showed that repeatable GTM plus real customer expansion still opens late-stage doors, even with trickier term sheets. Why it matters? Category leaders are getting global terms again, provided they're default alive and not just default loud. Ironically, the new growth hack is boring. Pricing, retention, and procurement-friendly security docs. Theme 2. Health and deep tech put Europe on the big ticket map. Record class rounds for next-gen truck platforms and neuro/robotics remind everyone that Europe's lab-to-market pipeline is back. When the transitional pathway is clear and the IP actually defends why it matters. Patient capital is returning, but it's allergic to vanity PR. Platform science with clinical legs is the new vibe. The twist? Modes equal memes. Final trends in 2025. Yes, scientists are cool again. And in the back of my mind, the theme music from Big Bang Theory plays. Theme number 3, exits and earnings are no longer taboo at the cool kids table. Translation: European IPO drums are audible again, while profitable category leaders in travel, vertical SaaS are hinting at durable margins rather than one-off quarters. Why it matters? The story is shifting from potential to performance, tightening valuation spreads and forcing cleaner metrics in as once. Turns out profitability is fashionable again. Who knew? Chris, I think that was something you were just hinting. Handing over to you.
Yeah. The fourth theme we're seeing is you could give it the headline of risk being back on the agenda. We see that cyber and fraud attacks continue to escalate, especially where operational technology meets information technology. And we see more and more boards writing checks for resilience for identity theft and response drills. Security here seems to like move away from being just a cost center and actually also a huge sales enabler in the startup world if companies can prove time to value and pass enterprise procurement in a week, not longer. So here fear seems to be a really good sales representative once the incident maps light up. Theme number 5 we are seeing is climate and energy storage is kind of like graduating into actual like pipelines, battery analytics, grid orchestration, carbon heavy industry retrofits are driving the startup scene. Industrials want return on investment within 12 to 24 months, which we see here, and that favors software-led controls, retrofit-friendly sensors, and CapEx-light deployments. So, it's theme number 6 we're also seeing, capital formation, quietly restructuring under the hood. We see European growth funds co-leading with US crossover capital again, but now with a bit more cleaner governance terms, less tolerance for creative accounting, quote unquote. And that matters because founders who embrace discipline like board cadence, data rooms, usage-based finesse, price better and keep more control. And so here's now the runway for the rest of today's top news. Late stage AI and workflow winners, Europe's deep tech comeback, credible exit signals, Germany's reality cyber check, and real pipelines in climate and industrial tech, plus some stealthy climbers in robotics and ag tech. So there will be receipts in our show notes as always. And as we said, in a few days, we'll drop the deep dive wrap up with even more startup and tech news. We are providing the link in the show notes if you haven't subscribed to us already anyway. If you did subscribe, congratulations. We think you're correct. Thank you very much. And we also would like you to give us feedback. So let us know who you are. Let us know what you do. We're always looking for interesting interview partners. Let us know what we can do better. Happy to hear from each and every one of you. There's a Google Forms also in the show notes. Our video podcast will go live on Thursday, October 30th. Audio podcast, same day. You can find it on all the platforms. We have an internet radio station, Startup.radio. You can get your content to your inbox on Startup.radio, one word, .substack.com. And all other channels are at linktree/startupradio. That's it. Now, before we hit our sponsor, here's your reason to stay tuned. This month's top news is a cross-section of Europe's startup future, from Munich's record-breaking biotech round and Berlin's newest AI unicorns to the rise of defense tech and industrial autonomy. So we will have a look into where smart money is going in Q4 right now, a 700 million euro bet that makes NPAL Europe's climate king, 308 million euros that just rewrote biotech history, and why investors are suddenly calling Germany the new AI core. Plus a few stealth moves in energy optimization, sovereign AI that could define 2026. And this one's all signal, no noise for once. And before we get started, here's a little ad break. Welcome back. Let's dive into our top news for this month. First off, Berlin-based NPAL has secured a massive 700 million euro financing package in October 2025 in order to accelerate residential solar expansion across Germany. Huge topic. Renewables are big in Germany. It's kind of like everyone is kind of like working on it, even though my impression is that politics is not always supporting people. And as we see that NPAL, which is Europe's largest solar leasing provider, plans to deploy funds towards battery storage integration, EV charging infrastructure, and smart meter rollouts. The round now is backed by institutional lenders, including BlackRock and INGDIBA. It used to be INGDIBA, now is INGBank, and it extends NPAL's cumulative funding beyond 3 billion euros, underscoring investor confidence, obviously, in the energy transition on the European continent. NPAL's model of subscription-based green energy ownership positions it as a benchmark for climate tech scalability. And we see that competitors like 1,5 Grad, 1.5 degree, and Svea Solar are racing to replicate kind of what NPAL is doing, a vertically integrated home energy approach. More about that you can see on trending topics, and we also have an internal link to the about the energy transition in Germany. Munich-based Tubulis GmbH has raised a record-breaking 308 million euro Series C, also in October, to advance their pipeline of next-generation antibody-drug conjugates, ADCs, to provide targeted cancer therapy. This round is led by Novo Holdings and EQT Life Sciences, with participation from Mubadala Investment Company and Andera Partners. It marks Europe's largest biotech funding to date. Tubulis' proprietary ADC platform enables highly selective, less toxic cancer treatments, an area that used to be dominated by American and Swiss companies, and now, Munich, Germany is playing a bit of a bigger role. Also underscoring investor confidence in the life sciences in Germany as a whole, and positioning Munich as one of the big cities in Europe alongside Cambridge and Basel. Former Startuprad.io guest Energy Robotics has secured 13.5 million euros in a Series A round. They want to expand autonomous robot and drone inspection platform across industrial and energy sites. It's based in Darmstadt, so southern Hesse, pretty much in the center of Germany, and it is pioneering AI-driven inspection software and that enables robots from multiple manufacturers to autonomously navigate, analyze, and report critical data and hazardous. Is that how you pronounce it? Sorry.
Hazardous yes. For example, they have robots that can walk like dogs on automated oil or gas drilling platforms somewhere in the North Sea where no human wants to go or needs to go.
Okay. And now the new capital that Energy Robotics could secure, it's backed by Future Industry Ventures, Born to Grow, High-Tech Gründerfonds, is going to accelerate commercialization across refineries, power plants, and offshore assets, basically what you said. And it's especially interesting because we see in Germany that heavy industry is undergoing a digital transformation. And so they are really operating at some interesting crossroads here. Then Germany has officially added 3 AI unicorns, N8N, Palua, and DeepL, with Black Forest Labs from Freiburg on track to follow at a projected 4 billion valuation. So you surely know their product, the Flux, an AI image generator. And all of this just underscores that the DACH region emerges as a European AI cluster, Supercluster, spanning automation, conversational AI, and language models. Berlin-based N8N, it's valued at $2.5 billion after a 180 million euros Series C. They power workflow automation. Palua revolutionizes customer service AI, and DeepL continues to dominate global translation markets. Black Forest Labs, dubbed the quietest unicorn in the world by Business Insider, is reportedly negotiating mega rounds, high-profile partnerships with Meta and Elon Musk's ventures. So they're combining privacy-centric research with Gen AI. So we will see.
Do you know what's interesting, Chris, here? We already talked in September news about Black Forest Labs being unofficially a unicorn, and now other media, other blogs, other posters, other podcasts, other news outlets are picking this up.
Yeah. And that's it with the top news, but from my side. But when we move on, you have some more about DeepL.
Yes, sticking to the AI unicorns, DeepL eyes a US IPO as Europe's AI translation giant expands globally. The Cologne-based DeepL is one of Europe's leading AI translation and language platforms, and they're reportedly exploring a US IPO, signaling a bold transatlantic expansion strategy and investor appetite for generative AI infrastructure. Those guys have been founded in 2017 and grown into a global benchmark for neural machine translation, boasting enterprise clients just like Microsoft or Siemens and major US law firms. A US listing would mark one of the largest European AI IPOs today, setting the precedent for the DACH region's export of AI excellence to American capital markets. Industry analysts view this move as a test of global investor confidence in European AI competitiveness, especially as DeepL's latest valuation reportedly exceeded $2 billion, yes, with a B, US dollars following its 2024 funding round led by Iconic Capital. For founders and policymakers, DeepL's trajectory underscores the growing internationalization of Europe's AI champions amid an intensifying race for linguistic and generative AI domination. Quantum Systems targets $150 million raise at $3 billion valuation to scale European defense tech. The Munich-based startup Quantum Systems is Germany's leading autonomous drone intelligence startup, and they are reported to seek raising $150 million at a $3 billion valuation, marking it one of Europe's most ambitious defense tech fundraisings this year. The company specializes in dual-use UAV that combine AI-powered reconnaissance with military-grade reliability. Actually, I do have some friends, and military-grade reliability doesn't always mean what it sounds like. Used by clients including NATO and Ukraine's armed forces for battlefield intelligence and infrastructure monitoring. The planned round follows a surge in Western investments into AI-driven defense platforms as Europe seeks strategic independence amid global geopolitical instability. Quantum Systems' scaling push underscores a wider DACH trend where dual-use robotics and autonomous systems are redefining the intersection between national security, deep tech, and venture capital. Its success could set a new benchmark for European defense innovation, balancing sovereign capability with private sector agility. That would be a great dream. Our former guest, Etalytics, expands Series A with Microsoft's M12 to scale AI-driven energy optimization. Offenbach-based Etalytics, a former Startuprad.io guest, has announced a Series A extension led by Microsoft's M12 venture fund, or is it M12? I don't know, aiming to accelerate deployment of its AI-powered energy optimization platform for industrial and commercial sites. The investment highlights the growing convergence of energy management and AI, particularly in Europe's decarbonization and efficiency sector. Etalytics software suite enables predictive load management, real-time process optimization, and carbon intensity reduction across critical infrastructure, from data centers to manufacturing facilities. The backing from M12 strengthens Germany's standing in industrial AI and clean tech innovation, while positioning Etalytics as a strategic partner in Europe's transition toward autonomous energy operations. The deal reinforces investors' focus on climate tech SaaS that bridges digital and physical energy systems, an area increasingly viewed as the backbone of Europe's net zero ecosystem. Also, Nexus AI raises 30 million to build Europe's Switzerland for LLMs. Interesting term here. Founded by the creators of NordVPN, privacy-focused startup Nexus AI has secured 30 million to develop a European alternative to US-dominated large language model hosting platforms based in Europe and built on privacy-first architecture. Nexus AI aims to establish a Switzerland for LLMs, a secure, compliant environment for training and deploying large language models under the EU Data Protection Standards, GDPR. The platform provides sovereign AI infrastructure that keep corporate and public sector data within European jurisdictions, addressing the rising concerns about model leakage and dependency on American hyperscalers. The funding round reflects a surge in AI infrastructure sovereignty investments, with Europe positioning itself as a global hub for trustworthy and decentralized AI hosting for startups and enterprise alike. Nexus AI vision underscores a strategic pivot from convenience to compliance-driven innovation in the generative AI stack. Whew. Guys, sorry for stumbling a little bit together here with Chris, but we're both in Germany. It's very close to 10 p.m. here, so we're very tired, but we're still working hard for you. Guys, let's follow us on next Monday for the deep dive. Chris, it was a pleasure talking to you and hosting these with you again.
I'm awake.
As
I'm
always.
Super awake. Bye-bye. See you in a couple of days.
Bye.
That's all, folks. Find more news, streams, events, and interviews at www.startuprad.io. Remember, sharing is caring.